Hi everybody, Adrienne here, and today I'm coming to you with a long overdue video that I wanted to do for you guys last year, and I'm just now getting around to it. It is how I organize my makeup collection. I want to go ahead and show you guys these because they will be shown throughout the videos in my makeup drawers. And this I picked up at Walmart for $4.99 or $5.99, and it's 8 packing bins, just interlocking packing bins. I don't use these small ones here. That's this one pictured here. I'm sorry about the glare with the shrink wrap on them, but I don't use those, but you'll see the rest of the bins that I use throughout the video. This is going to be an extremely long video because I'm going in depth as to my thought process of why I organize things the way it's organized. So without further ado, I'm going to jump into this video and I will give you some final thoughts at the end.
And welcome to my beauty room. Hello there. Yes, I am in my pajamas and looking quite homely. This is one of the first of my 10 towers. I don't know what you call these organizers that you can pick up at Michael's and all sorts of craft supply stores. My other one is over here that you always see in my filming setup. That is the 10 of those. And I'm going to start with this one first and come on over since you see this most when I'm recording videos. I like to have this organizer up here. I haven't fully understood how to use it yet. I'm still working on that. I got this January of last year. If you remember my video, and if you haven't seen that about the organizer, I will go ahead and post a link above. But I don't really like acrylic organizers, and that is precisely why I wanted this. And the reason I don't like them is, yes, the things are organized, but I can still see them. So it still looks like a mess sitting out to me in my mind, and I don't care for them for that reason. But here are some lipsticks that I've been trying out, and some of them, this line back here, are by Ruby Kisses, and I've been using them for a little over a year, but trying to get into some different shades and just step out of my box. And then I have fingernail polishes by Essie, the gel polishes that I've been trying to encourage myself to polish my nails more often. That's not been going well with working in nursing, and the place that I work right now, the hand sanitizer that I use actually eats the top coat of this gel polish off. So that's why I haven't been taking care of my hands. But like some of the brand new foundation and primers that I've gotten and things like that, that I'm encouraging myself to try sooner rather than later, that's what I'm keeping in here. And this top drawer is an eyeliner drawer. Let me try to see if I can line this up a little bit better. It's an eyeliner drawer where I have an overflow of eyeliner products. I will show you some of my other eyeliner products and how I have them organized. And I have nothing in this drawer yet. I haven't figured out what I want to do with it. And for this drawer here, I have some current contact lenses, which I will be doing some reviews on contact lenses, color contact lenses, and let you guys know the company that I get my lenses from. But these are the most current ones that I've been using. Starting with the top drawer in this actual organizer, I have single eyeshadows. Like these are all Mary Kay cream eyeshadow products here. And this is just a new Milani, I don't know what you call this, some metallic shadow that I bought from them back right before Christmas. I haven't even had a chance to use it. And I have like a foil single shadow from Revolution here, and the mixing pan for it and the mixing mediums also in this drawer. And then these are just more trio type looks where they're already completed. These were some Mary Kay eyeshadow trios that I have a collection of, and another brand of them right in front that carries similar ones to theirs of eyeshadow trios. I used to like to get completed looks and get out of the door really quick with those. And over here, this is just more trios that I want to get into by Black Radiance. And I've got some single shadows here and some loose pigments. Like this is a Laura Geller gelato swirl that I was given, and just some Urban Decay, because I don't really buy Urban Decay, but this was given to me as a free gift, and showing some of just the loose pigment dust that I have that I plan to get more into this year as I venture out into my collection, and just more loose colors here along the sides. And I'm going to pull it out a little bit more, try not to make it fall. And I have more loose pigments, and these are just some LA Color loose pigments that I picked up from the Dollar Tree. And I also have, this is a NYX pencil in the color Black Bean. And I bought that to darken up lipsticks or some eye look as a base. And these are some of the first shimmer products that I bought from Lorac. I have this one in silver and gold. I've bought this twice. I don't even think they sell this anymore. I hardly ever got to use these, and you can see that the glitter particles are still in here, but all the liquid dried up from them. So yeah, if anybody has any suggestions how to rehydrate these and make them workable, I would love to have them. And here's just more Mary Kay eyeshadow crayon pencils, and these are really nice also. I used to like to use these. I would like to go back to using them as eyeshadow bases. They put down good bases to eyeshadows that maybe aren't as pigmented as what you'd like them to be, or maybe they're toppers. Those are good to go on the bottom. So that's what I have in the top drawer here for organization. And moving on down to the second drawer, it's kind of looking like a hodgepodge mess. Like I use those organizers in this one again, but it's not as organized as what I would like it to be. It kind of needs to be decluttered, and that's why I did put some of them up here in that top drawer that I showed you. But I still need to do some work on this. It needs to be decluttered in the worst way. I just got some Inglot Duraline to help with some of my products that are dried out, like those Mary Kay eyeshadow cream liners. I do want to try that. And these are just some regular eyeliners. As you can see, some of this stuff hasn't even been open. Regular pencil liners, liquid liners, colored liquid liners, and some of this stuff is way too old. Some colorful liquid liners that I had, that when I do a declutter video, we can go through some of this stuff and talk about it in general. And the middle, I like to keep mascaras in. And as you can see, it's kind of overflowing to the back. Ulta had a sale on Tarte mascaras, and these are my favorite mascara, so I picked up 3 of them, but I'm going to set them down to the side so you can see some of the other stuff. And these are just some of the other mascara products. This one's not even been open yet, that I'm waiting to try out, from Essence, The Last Princess. And then I have some of the other Colossal, Big Shot, and things like that that I'll be talking about and doing a decluttering video, because it's just gotten way out of hand. And back here are the eyebrow products that I have. And I've got some mechanical pencils, some sharpening pencils, and also the first product that I ever bought from a Sephora. And it was Anastasia Beverly Hills eyebrow stencils, which I never found that helpful. I don't really like using stencils, but I just hang on to them for nostalgia. And also another nostalgia product is this NYC brow kit here. It's a brow powder, and it's in the shade Brunette 876. I don't think NYC is still around. If you guys ever find these anywhere, this would be great to pick up. I love the little mini set of tweezers in there and the little brush that you see in the compact. And this was the perfect shade for my natural daytime brows. And I like the wax in this product. So that was a brow product that I used years ago that I'd like to hang on to. And then next is the eyeshadow primers in the organizer. And you can see I have Milani here, and I've got some duplicates. I got a Mary Kay primer that I haven't opened yet. And here's a Mary Kay tube that is open, and I probably should get rid of it because this is pretty old. And 2 Lorac tubes that I have because I bought a couple of Lorac palettes, and a Maybelline color tattoo that I was using in the shade Creamy Beige. I don't know why I stopped using it. It's a nice shade, and I thought it worked rather well. I might have to pull that out again. And I have some Milani primer and NYX, and here's some Urban Decay that was given to me at Ulta, and some Too Faced glitter glue. So that's how I like to organize this drawer, by having the liners here, mascaras here, primers here, and eyebrow products here. And moving on to the third drawer in this tier, this is what I'd like to call the minis eyeshadow palettes, but they're not really minis, as you can see, because some of them are Wet n Wild Tin Pan compacts, but they are a mini size. They are a small compact size. And these are where my true love for makeup really come in, because I always had smaller eyeshadow compacts like this, and I typically only had 2 color schemes as I was wearing makeup as a younger adult, because all we had was pretty much either super high-end drugstore makeup or let me take that back, not drugstore makeup, but super high-end department store makeup or drugstore makeup. And there wasn't any use in getting a bunch of different things because the quality just wasn't there with all the brands. But as you can see, here's a L'Oreal quad that I haven't even got to try. that I'm really anxious to get into, because when I started wearing makeup, I was always a quad girl, and this is a pretty quad that I haven't gotten into. And I've got some Revolution, the mini palettes that mimic the bigger palettes, that the 16 pan palettes that they have, the chocolate bar palettes, and these are just mini chocolate bars. And I want to get into these and maybe even start a series of just smaller palettes like these, because I really do like these. And I know this Maybelline City Mini palette, on Instagram, I have a little quick mini tutorial, whatever you call those videos that go so fast, using this palette. So I really do like these. And as you can see, I have one of the Huda Beauty, the Coral Obsession palettes, and that is a 9-pan palette. So they're not all small compacts. They're just smaller than the bigger 16, 18, 35 pan compacts. And I picked that up. But here's the Smashbox palette. I wanted this palette so bad, and I got it. And I think the packaging is so neat, but I've never taken the time to even play around with it or do a look with it. So it's just things that I want to get into. And as you can see, before Wet n Wild changed their packaging, there's an all natural palette, 10-pan palette, and I do have the newer one of that right there. So there's lots that I want to do with this drawer, but this drawer is a favorite, and this is how I grew up with the idea of makeup and the type of products that I had in my collection. So I'm very fond of having a separate drawer like this to keep things organized in. And moving on down to the next drawer, this is my mattes drawer. And this one is super full also. The reason why this one is full is because I really do like mattes quite a bit. And I have a variety of drugstore mattes, as you can see, like this Revolution palette that I haven't used yet. And I just recently hauled a bunch of Juvia's Place products that I just entered into my collection. And this is one of the Nubian palettes, a newer one, and a Pixie palette that you guys never heard me talk about on my channel, that I can't wait to film some looks with and talk to you about this palette, because I think this one really needs a review. And just some things like even the old Maybelline Nudes palette. I don't even know if they still carry this, but just to give you an idea of some of the nude palettes. And I can't even remember what this Morphe palette is. I think it might be the 35K palette, the coffee palette, that's got the slate to neutral kind of taupish colors, and just more nude palettes back here. You can see the Huda Beauty dupe, the Bad Habit After Party, which I just did a video on this at the beginning of the year. I'll post a link to that above. But just an all-out neutral drawer here. That's what I have. And moving on down to the next drawer. This drawer is my burgundies, my wines, my mauve drawer, all kind of mixed in together. As you guys, if you've been watching my channel, I haven't even mentioned that I picked this palette up, the Ace Beauté Blossom Passion palette. I haven't even talked about this yet, so I'll be doing a look with this, but I like keeping this drawer updated. It's got like my Lorac Unzipped palette in it. And I don't think I've ever mentioned on my channel that I've had this palette either. And it's definitely one that I need to talk about and do a review of. So that burgundy palette is in there. And I've mentioned the Modern Renaissance palette. I've never featured it on my channel. And as you can see, there's a lot of drugstore palettes in here with the rosy tones, and that CoverGirl palette that I just had in a drugstore haul not too long ago, and this Rimmel one here that I haven't had a chance to film looks with. And the reason why these eyeshadows, not eyeshadows, but eyelashes are in here, these are some of my favorite lashes right now to use. They're out of order because I used them with one of these palettes that have glitter. So there's actual glitter particles and flecks in the lash band. I don't know if you guys can see that, but I don't want to put them on while I'm doing a matte look and forget about it and have that in my pictures. And I've got the Huda Beauty Nude palette that I'll be doing a review of coming up soon. And also the Huda Beauty Rose Gold palette that I'll be doing a video on and talking about also soon. And there's a dupe for that Huda Beauty, the original Rose Gold palette. And it's just some Revolution palettes back here also. These are some of the, what do they call them? The Reloaded palettes. And I really like the color schemes of these. So I have some of those. And then I have, I think this is the, what is this? The Redemption Iconic 3 palette. And this one was the rosier tone. I think it was supposed to mimic like the Urban Decay. But I try to keep these burgundy wine themes all together, so it makes it easier to look at. And this is a palette that Revolution gifted me, Bold as Brass. Reminds me a lot of that little City Mini Makeup Shayla palette that was just in that smaller drawer. But that's what's in my burgundy drawer and how I like to keep it organized. See if I can get this stuff to stack back up the way I have it so I can close the drawer. And moving on down to the next drawer, this is the purples. And I like to keep my purples organized separately. It just makes everything easier for me when I know I pull a drawer open and that's the look that I'm going to get. And here's the Norvina palette, which a review of this will be coming up really soon. I've just been thoroughly in this palette creating several looks for you guys, and I want to test out every color and do something with it. So when I come to you with the review, it is accurate. And I've got some Morphe palettes, the 35P, and then I have another one that I don't want to spoil the surprise of until I do the video, but it made it into the purple drawer also, and you'll find out why later. And just like the old, I don't even know if this is still available, the Petal Pusher palette from Wet n Wild. If you can get your hands on this, this is some nice purples also. And over the holiday time, I picked up the Huda Beauty Amethyst Obsessions palette, and I have not had a chance to play with that yet, but here I have this. And when I bought the Tartelette Vault about a year ago, I did show you guys this. I do need to do a video of this. I have had this palette before and didn't really care for it. I wanted to give it a second chance, and I wanted to do a video and do it live when I recording it with the video, so I can hopefully not have the same problems I had the first time, but who knows. And I don't even really know what to say about this palette. I mean, it's just too bad she turned out to be a racist and I had already spent my money on this palette. So there's a video up on my channel with this. I guess I can link that above since I took my hard work to do the video of it, but it's that Laura Lee Cat's Pajamas palette, and I spent my 40-some dollars on it, so I'm not throwing it out. And I've got a couple really pretty purple singles that I've picked up. A NYX single, and I think this is in Punked Heart is what this shadow color is called. And Kiss New York Professional Makeup. And this one is, I think, what is it? Gypsy? Yeah, Gypsy. So just some little singles like that to get some really good purple looks, and just a drawer that's really centered towards purple. And some of these palettes might not be all purple. Most of them are, like that Cat's Pajamas palette. The themes and what I like to wear out of it is the purple when I think of that palette. And next, moving on down to the warm drawer. This has got all my warm shades, my peachy tones, all those orangey shades. This is the Makeup Revolution, like the peach palette. And some of this stuff, I'm not even going to open everything. I just want you to get an idea of what I'm thinking when I organize it. And this drawer may eventually end up getting split because I'm finding that I like peachy tones so much that I think I need a separate drawer from the orange and the peach. And this is straight up orange like it says. And there's another Revolution palette underneath it, and got the Huda Beauty Desert Dust palette, which a review of that will be coming up soon. And the Tartelette Toasted palette, which I've only used a couple times and I've never done a review of. So I guess I probably should start putting that Tarte Vault to use and letting you guys know what I think of it. And another Huda Beauty dupe, another Revolution palette, and there's a couple Morphe palettes in here. The 35O and the 3502 is what those are. So Core to the Core orange palettes, and the Juvia's Warrior palette. And I did do a video on this last month. I will link that above if you want to see what my first impression of this palette was. So that's what is in the warm drawer. Moving on down to the next drawer. In case you couldn't guess, this is the gold drawer. I don't have an obsessive amount of gold palettes. I just recently really got into golds where I'm liking it. You can see I've got a couple Revolution palettes, the 24 karat gold palette that I will be reviewing, and the gold bar, which will get paired with some other palettes because this is all shimmer palette, so I won't be able to do it totally on its own. And I bought the I Heart Chocolate, that dupe for the Too Faced chocolate bar palette, because I can't wear my Too Faced chocolate bar palette anymore. So I did get that, and the tones that are in there just remind me of gold. And there's the Morphe 35R gold palette. That's what's in there. And I just picked up the Juvia's Place Warrior palette, which I plan to do a tutorial on pretty soon coming up. And here's the Lorac palette. I will go ahead and open it because sometimes I think they both look the same, but that's the gold palette. And last New Year's Eve, I did do a look of this, so I will post a link to that video above of this palette. But we can talk later about what I actually think of some of these palettes. I just want to show you how I think and set up organization. And this drawer, it looks like the dedicated Makeup Revolution collab drawer, but that's really not what it all is. Underneath the Tammy X palette, you'll see I have the Tarte Pro and I have the Colored Rain Queen of Hearts palette. It's just kind of some hodgepodge palettes that are colorful, that don't fit in specifically one genre. Like this Petra palette, I think it's got 36 colors in it. Yeah, that's what it says. And it's got a multitude of colors in here, almost everything that you would need. So I just stick them in this drawer. My Emily Edit palette, the Wants palette is in here. My Jaclyn Hill palette's in here. And there's the Soft Glam in there, which I haven't even had a chance to use yet. I want to see where I classify that look once it's all said and done. I'm not sure what I'll end up thinking about that in the end. So I'll close that. And this next drawer, what this drawer is a drawer of my favorite type of muted colors. I like the colors. They could be considered kind of out of your norm. I don't know anymore. There's been so many vivid, colorful, bold palettes, but the Subculture palette's in there. And I do like the Subculture palette, so that's why I hang on to that. And the Mint Chalk palette from Makeup Revolution. And some more Juvia's palettes. The Saharan palette and what is that? Festival by Juvia's. So it's pretty colorful. And then as you can see, I have a NYX palette here that I got a couple Christmases ago that this theme is also a lot like the Subculture palette. But yeah, I don't even think this one's available anymore. I forgot what it was called, like Cosmic something. It came in a gift set. And I have that Artistry palette by Bad Habit, the dupe for that Mario Masters palette. And this one's just the Morphe Fall in the Frost palette. So those are just some muted colored palettes that I really like a lot. But that is the end of this tower here, the first tower that we're going to talk about. Now moving on over to the second tower. It is my foundations. And I think that this looks like a hot mess. But I like it because it makes me slow down on buying foundations. And I realized, girl, most of this stuff, all of these, I think have been opened and used, except for a couple of these Revolution Fast Base sticks. And this, I haven't broken the seal on this. This hasn't been used. Everything else has been squirted out or used. So I need to be about the business of figuring out what I'm going to do with it, if I want to keep it in my collection or not. So that's why I keep those things out. And you can see I've got primers down here, primers and setting sprays. And I will be doing individual videos on some of the primers that I've been using and the setting sprays and what I've been thinking of them. But moving on down to the next drawer, I've got two drawers opening all at once because there's too much stuff in it. So let me... There we go. Hope I'm not ruining a product underneath. I might have to let both of them pull out at the same time. This is a lipstick drawer and it's got the organizers in them. These are just regular tube lipsticks, your old school tube lipsticks. And I'm feeling like I need to do a declutter on this because some of these things are no longer going to be something that I want to keep, not even to use later because I've tried them and I know whether or not I like them. Some of them are backup to shades that I really like. This one, I guess the beauty supply store was really scared that I was going to steal this or something with that security sticker. But it's one of those Kiss lipsticks, one of my favorite shades of that. And it's a really pretty burgundy. So I keep a backup of that in case I can't find it. And just all kinds of random brands. This is CoverGirl, a Queen Latifah lipstick here. Just, it's not about the brand at all. It's just lipsticks in a tube. And moving on back to the second drawer, in case you couldn't guess, they're just different lip liners that I have. They're all kind of similar shades because I tend to kind of like the same thing. Some of them I have duplicates of the same colors, and some of them I like to stock up on because I can't always find them when I'm running low. And then back behind that is like the big chubby stick penciled lipsticks. I have some of these that I've had for years that they don't seem to be going bad or smell bad, but they're favorite neutral colors of mine that they've just really always worked for me. And as you can see, I've shown it quite some love. This brand was Artistry is where this one came from. And I've got some Mary Kay chubby sticks back here, also lipsticks. And I had to buy this Benefit sharpener to sharpen those pencils because it's got an adapter in there and it's the only thing that works for that. So that is my lipstick drawer, and I need to declutter some of this. I really like to keep track of the lipstick drawer because those and the foundations are things that I'm concerned about going rancid. So I really do want to stay on top of those and keep them organized and keep them with the theme of lipsticks. The next drawer underneath it is where I keep my lip glosses. And as you can see, it's time for a declutter in here. This one is actual lip glosses and lip toppers. I got a couple new ones. Like I just picked up some of the ones from Revolution that are dupes for the Fenty Beauty. I don't even know what you call those, if they're lip balms or whatever. But I have several different colors. Some are just sheer things to add a tint to the lip if I'm going to the gym or something, or running errands with a bare face. And like some of the old melted Too Faced lipsticks, and it might be time to get rid of these because I've had them for 2 years. But things like that. If I'm going to do a declutter on this, and I want to do it with you guys and swatch a lot of these products and tell you why I'm getting rid of them or why I didn't use them. So I won't be decluttering anything right now while I'm going through it. And these are some of the cream lipsticks I have that set up as a matte. Like I've got some of the Revlon HD Ultra Lip colors and lots of NYX because they're one of my favorite brands for colored lip products. And I love their formulation of their lip creams. If I'm going to wear a liquid lipstick, they're about the only brand I can tolerate. And you can see I have lip jellies. Like this came from Mary Kay. It's their At Play collection, and it's just a neutral lip jelly. And I've got some Morphe lip jellies in here. And I think this is what, OCC. I probably should throw this away because this is pretty old. Just a stain lip gloss. So different lip glosses in here from all kinds of different brands. And I don't even know why I have so many of them. Lip glosses are really typically not my thing. They're starting to become more so because my lips are getting so dry. But in the back, in this section here, I have liquid lipsticks. And these are liquid lipsticks, the NYX Lingerie. And they're pretty colors, but oh my gosh, these liquid lipsticks are so drying. And I've had them for 2 years, the NYX ones, and I just haven't liked them very much. And then I have, I did a video on this also, the Smashbox Instamatte lip topper. You can put this over a lipstick to make it look matte. And this I find helps a lot with liquid lipsticks. I did a video on that. I don't know if I'm at the max of the videos I could post up above, but if I can post a link to what I thought of that product, I will. And I've got another liquid lipstick by Makeup Revolution that I got gifted that I've never tried. And then there's some Tarte ones that I've been given from Ulta when I've gone in and made some purchases that I haven't really got a chance to try. And moving on to the next drawer, this is the blush drawer. And the blush drawer needs to be decluttered in the worst way also. I think this drawer could possibly make it on the no-buy list. I think that I have more than enough blushes, and I've recently hauled in quite a bit and talked to you guys about it. I don't even think I've had a chance to talk to you about this Tarte blush palette that I picked up. It's some pretty colors. You can see the colors on the box. And I have a huge Mary Kay multi blush palette underneath here. As you can see, it's got lots of colors and cream blushes and powder blushes and inglot blushes and Juvia's Place blushes. You know, Anastasia Beverly Hills, you name it. Just so many blushes. And a lot of them are very similar colors, if not the same colors. It's just different things about formulations that I don't like, or I just need to get to trying some of these. So I think this will be going on a declutter relatively soon because this drawer is getting out of hand to where I can't close it. And so moving on to the next drawer below it, this is the highlighter drawer. And this is a drawer that I feel like I already need to declutter, and I just made it its own drawer because I'd not been really into highlighters before. So I'm starting to like highlighters, and I really want to watch it this year, my intake of highlighters. I did just recently pick up the Amrezy highlighter and have used it in a few past videos. But as you can see, over the holiday time, I got, Jackie Aina's collab with Artist Couture. So I picked up a loose highlighter, and I've got some liquid highlighter here that I got from Revolution that I haven't opened yet. And I do plan to get one more color. When I got this to the register and had them all swatched on my hands, I knew I had messed up and that there was another color that I should have grabbed probably instead of this or along with it, because this one, that champagne, is a little more mellow than what I want. I wanted it a little more bright and vivid, so I'll go back and get it. And I did pick up Revolution, a couple of their jelly highlighters, and I've been using those and liking it, the gold one and the rose gold one. So yeah, I'm getting into all kinds of different formulations, and that's why I'm allowing myself to play a little bit with it, because I've got liquid, powder, gels, and I've got some Mary Kay stick highlighters also in the stick form. So I think I'm not sure. I don't want to say, but I'm really only thinking that I want that other Revolution liquid highlighter. Like, I just got into highlighters big time, so I really want to get in this drawer and play with some of what I have before I continue to add. And the next drawer is going to be one of the first declutter drawers also. And what this drawer is it's bronzers in the back. I have these bronzers back here, and then concealers here, a multitude of different concealers. And I kind of have some duplicate concealers because I work as a travel nurse, and a lot of times when I'm doing contracts out of town, I stay out of town on those days that I work. So I have a duplicate makeup bag there, and some of these different concealers were at my other location. So I'm waiting till I use my products here to finish using the rest of them. But lots of LA girl, I bought so many of these different colors just trying to find the right one when I first started using it. And it's one of the dangers of using drugstore products because sometimes you have to buy so many of the same color. But as you can see, I picked up an Instant Age Rewind, and I haven't even had a chance to get into this and use it, and I've had it for a few months. And these are contouring products that are up front, and these need to be decluttered also. I don't think I've ever talked about this. Like, I picked up this MAC, and it's actually a blush in the shade Sketch that can be used as a good contour for me, but I've had that for about 6-7 months now. And just some other that's a cream. Well, you could contour with this. It's a cream concealer. What is this? I think this is the Conceal Correct Contour Kit from NYX. So I have that. And then I have some powder products underneath these other cream products. But this is going to be a declutter drawer pretty soon, because when I can't really get it closed easily, that means it's time to use some stuff or get rid of it. And this is a powder and a cream to powder foundation and some Lumi Cushion foundations. And if you didn't see my foundation update video that I just posted at the beginning of the year, I talked about this foundation and gave a little mini review of it. So you'll want to check that video out talking about that. But here's another Dream Cushion foundation that I haven't even gotten into and used yet. And like some Maybelline Fit Me powder that I ordered recently that I haven't even open yet, and some old cream to powder foundation from Mary Kay that I have. And like also with that foundation update video, here's a Tarte hybrid gel foundation that I did a mini review on also in that video and talked about. And then also some powder compacts, setting powder compacts. I will probably be using this in an upcoming Wet n Wild video when I do one brand, a total look with that. But I've got some other setting powders and pressed powders and just loose powders here, Mary Kay loose powders, colored powders to set foundation with, and some different banana powders that I picked up from different brands to try out that I still need to review for you guys and let you know what I think of them. But Sacha Buttercup, and here's a Mary Kay mineral foundation. This is not a setting powder, but an actual mineral foundation that I've been meaning to try for myself. So I need to get into that. And moving on down to the next drawer, we have eyelashes. I am getting out of the habit of buying these. I was buying, this is Kiss brand, so many of these when I was doing makeup for weddings. I would just buy all of these together. Like, I need to find somewhere else to put this because this is taking up too much space. And that's one reason why I don't want to use it. Here's some glue. I probably should pitch this. I don't know why I'm still hanging on to it. I'm sure I could use it, but it's so old that I probably don't want to. I don't know why Revlon stopped making this, but this was one of the best lash adhesives I've ever used. Actually, you couldn't hardly get your lashes off at the end of a day. But this was good glue, but I can't find it anymore. And these are just some tweezers that came with some of the Kiss sets. And here's just some duo glue. And I'm thinking this might be kind of on its way out, kind of old. It's not my favorite glue, but it's an easy one to find. So I keep that there also. And just different styles of lashes. I've started buying them more on the individual ones. You can see I've already been using these. They look a little worn. But I think this year I'm just going to keep with the lashes like this and not buy the big packs unless I can get the double demi wispies, because these are really turning into some favorites. I haven't even had a chance to use this. And I have below that like an Ardell lash book that I got for a holiday sale in 2000, the end of 2000. What was that, 17? So I have that there that I've been trying lots of those lashes, and it just helps keeping them organized. And if you guys haven't, I don't know that I'm going to be able to get this open one-handed. Oh, it looks like I will. Okay, for lashes that I've been using, you know, just keeping them in this little case here so that I can get to them and it keeps them protected. Those are some lashes that 6 months ago I was using. Now I don't think I even wear any of these. So I might have to revisit these and see what I think of them all over again. But that's my lash drawer and how I keep that organized. Okay, moving on down to the next drawer. This drawer is colorful shadows. And it is getting super full where you can see that the palettes are sticking to the drawer. I may have to expand upon this drawer. I decided that I wanted to add a massive color into my collection this year. And boy, did I just go for the gusto. I just recently posted a video of my first impression of this Tried palette by Juvia. So I will link that above so that you guys can watch that. And this palette is so, I know there's no way that I can show you all these palettes, but this is just such an awesome looking palette. You know, the color scheme is just beautiful in this palette. And I've got a lot of the Bad Habit, Huda Beauty dupes and just BH Cosmetics in here and more Juvia's Place and Wet n Wild. What is this? The Poster Child palette. I don't even know if you guys can find this. This is a good palette to have also. I don't know if it's still available because they got rid of that. And some more colorful single shadows here by Kiss. Really, I don't know what you call this, magenta and orange shadow, and just some other really colorful singles. And this drawer, it just helps me when I think of color. When I come to this drawer, I'm just going to get a bold, vivid look. All of these are really colorful palettes. And the next drawer down here is the dupe drawer. I have bought so many dupe palettes from Bad Habit and from Makeup Revolution. So these are mainly palettes that I already have the original to. So I didn't put them in the other tower because I don't want to have two of the same thing in the other tower. Once I do the reviews on them and decide if one is particularly better than the other, then it will make it into the main drawer. Like in this drawer, I have the Athena palette to dupe the Desert Dust palette. And yeah, we'll find out which one I like of those the most. And then I have the Aphrodite palette, and this will be a dupe for the Makeup Revolution Rose Gold palette. I won't dupe it with the Huda Beauty Rose Gold Remastered because the colors are not even the same anymore, but that's what that's for. And then the Coral Obsession palette from Huda Beauty that you saw earlier, I have the Bad Habit dupe for it, and the Norvina dupe, the Luna palette, and just Anastasia Beverly Hills dupes. And I don't even know if you guys are going to be interested in that because they've done it so much. And just the Inferno palette from Bad Habit, and here's the Makeup Revolution dupe for that. And it is one of the, what do you call these? The Reloaded palettes. And there you see I have the more Subculture dupes and just more Bad Habit dupes. Stuff that I don't want duplicates of in one drawer. So I keep them in this drawer separated for now. And that's what's in that drawer. And coming down to the last drawer, it is just palettes that I'm not sure that I want to work with them. I'm not sure I still want them in my collection. They need to be decluttered. I need to make a decision on it. And the reason why you see two of the After Hours palettes, I may try to create a look with them. If you saw my Bad Habit haul, then you saw that these came to me damaged. So that's why I question what I'm going to do with those. And there's some Makeup Revolution palettes in there and some Morphe palettes that I'm not certain that I want to keep in my collection. So this is a drawer that it is obviously going to be moving things in and out all the time. So that is how this tower is organized. And you see that I just have brushes, different brush sets, all in different glasses and cups up here. That's what I do with that. And those are some of the skincare products that I'm working with. And I do have that mirror there that I use to help me put on my makeup. And please ignore the junk in the background that's showing up through the mirror. And here's just more brushes and Q-tips and things like that, color switches. Okay, so getting into how I wear my organized makeup for a daily look, and I just pulled the handle off of this, so I'll have to put it back on. But this is what I'm referring to when I call the drawer. If I'm doing makeup on a regular daily basis and I'm trying to get out of the house and get going, this is how my makeup is set up. And it is really simple. These are my favorite products that I use, rain or shine, when I want to get out of the door fast. It's what I consider the best of the best for me to get a good look and get going. And in this drawer, I keep everything very organized. I have these dividers and I have it divided into the tools that I use. Like here's some of my beauty blenders that I put my powder on underneath the eye to bake, and eyelash curlers, my different tools that I use to create winged eyeliner because I'm not good at drawing it freehanded, so I have vamp stamps for those in 2 different sizes. And I have just recently, over the last at the end of December, picked this up to help me put on my false eyelashes, and I'm liking that. And just some scissors, and there's some tweezers in here. So the reason why I put these in these organizers is because they would slide all over the drawer before, and I was digging in the back of the drawer and it was taking forever to find what I needed. And in this middle organizer here, it's just mascara and eyebrow products, the current tubes of mascara that I have open, and my lash glue. And this is what I've been using. I think I've used it once or twice now, the Kiss Strip Adhesive lash glue. So I've been liking that for the whole 2 times that I've used it. And like my Benefit Cabrow, I keep all of that in here. And it's just some random mascaras that are open that I like, that I'm using. And my favorite mascara, I know you're thinking, where's your favorite? Well, I had a little sample tube of the Tarte mascara, so I'm trying to use that up before I open any of the big ones. And for the last organizer here in this drawer, the little one, I have the MAC Carbon that you hear me talk about, that I say I always keep in case I want a black eyeshadow. And then I keep this to set the brow bone, and it is just the, what is this, Brulee color by Wet n Wild. And then I have my MAC Pink Pot in Layin Low that I use to prime my eyelids before I put on my shadow. And a lot of times I double prime now, and I use this MAC primer also, the 24-hour extended eyewear. And there's my Vamp Stamp liner, and just some of the other liners that I use. These are just liquid pen eyeliners, and this is just regular liquid e.l.f. liner. And then I've got some Mary Kay, what is this? Just a Mary Kay liquid liner. And this one you guys have heard me talk about in some other videos in a best and worst, how I like this for conservative daily wear. It's a really good black for that, and office type black. So that's a pen eyeliner. And then I just have Mary Kay, what is that? Where is it here? Mary Kay dark brown eyeliner that I put on the waterline and the lower lash line. And then I have a black one. So that's what I keep in that drawer, and I can get my hands right on that. And my favorite lip product for healing my lips is, as you can see, it's almost going in the empties, but that's okay because I got 2 other ones throughout the house somewhere. The Vaseline Intensive Care Rosy Lip. I find it to be the best lip treatment so far of anything that I've used, and it's really reasonable, and you can get it at the checkouts of any of your Targets or Walmarts. And for setting powder, I love the Mary Kay translucent powder. You guys have heard me talk about that, and it's kind of got like a little Pearl Essence tint to it, and I'm about out of it, but that's okay because I have plenty of backups of this translucent powder, and I always use one of these at all times when I'm doing my makeup because this is how I like to mix my foundation shades if I need to, and also this is what I put my concealer on. I don't put my concealer typically directly under my eye. I put it on this and then I use a brush to apply it. And then here is my contouring palette from Makeup Revolution. I've rubbed all the, well, there you can see kind of the Pro HD lettering on it. And this is the Ultra Pro Cream HD Contour in medium dark. So I really like this. It is a favorite and I use that every day. This is my favorite bronzer, and I've talked about it before, and it's from Clean Colors, and it is $2.99 at my Korean beauty supply store, and this is in the shade Luna, so I love this. And for my daytime banana powder, I like to use the Wet n Wild contouring palette, and this is in the color Caramel Toffee, so this is one of my favorites for that. And then this is my favorite blush that you guys hear me talk about so much. My Pinky Peach blush that I like. And then I like this Sephora setting powder in the shade Mahogany. I like that as my pressed powder to use. And for a daily highlighter, this is typically my favorite to use for a regular day-to-day basis and if I'm going to be working. And it is the Wet n Wild Sangria's Castle, and I think these are called the Shimmer palettes. So I really like that a lot. And then here are some concealers that I use. Here's my LA Girl Pro Orange Color Corrector Concealer. And this is my LA Girl Pro Concealer in the color Cool Tan. And this is what I use if I'm going to highlight with the concealer. And then I have my NYX HD Concealer. And this is in CW08. And I use this to prime my lips before I put lip liner on and draw my lips with the shape that I want them to be. And then here's my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in the color Tan Sand. And this is my Holy Grail concealer right now, but we're going to see if some of this is going to rotate around because I'm looking for a drugstore concealer also that can do about as good of a job as this one. So this is the drawer and how I organize those products. And then you'll see that I have 3 eyeshadow palettes in here. And these are eyeshadow palettes that I know I can do a look and get it done and get it out the door and look good no matter what I throw together out of the palette. And the one on my days off that I like to use is the Tartelette in Bloom palette. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this open one-handed. I don't want to cause a problem. I hang on to all my sheets. I hate it when the powder's all over my mirror. So this is what that palette looks like, and this is one of my favorite. And this palette I would buy just for that rocker shade up there. This is the prettiest silvery, kind of silverish gunmetal. I'm not even going to worry about putting that back while we're talking. Shade that I've ever found. And then I have the Tarte Maneater palette, which I haven't talked about on my channel, but I just picked this up recently and I've only used it once, but Tarte, as you can see, is one of my favorite brands for eyeshadow palettes, and I've used this in a video a couple weeks ago when I did my foundation updates for the month of January and my skincare video for the month of January. This was a palette that I was wearing, and it gave, let me see if I can get that plastic sheet off, the perfect burgundy, neutral burgundy eye look. And I just love Tarte eyeshadows for everyday basis. Mostly when I'm wearing makeup day to day, it's to go to one of my child's functions at his school, or I'm wearing it to work. So my looks are a lot more conservative, and I'm usually in a rush. So I just like to have nice, good quality conservative eyeshadow palettes. And so far Tarte has been my favorite. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do about this one because it's the original Clay Play palette that they came out with that they got rid of, and they changed it to the Clay Play 2, which absolutely does not work for a deeper, darker skin tone. But this is my favorite for work. This produces some of the best matte looks, as you can see on this side here. This is just a regular neutral matte look, and then this is my cool matte look. So kind of like the In Bloom palette, that top row that I showed you, where I get to wear the shimmer shades of the cool tones, this is my matte formulation of that. And then if I want the warm, I can go over here and do the warm or do a combination and mix all this up. And I also like to use these as eyeshadows too. And these pans are huge, so that's nice. And originally I did buy this palette because I wanted it for this timber shade as a contour, but it turns out I never even remembered to use it as a contour. But this is still one of my favorite palettes. Obviously it's in the drawer, and the drawer is so important to me. Like, I really take seriously anything that goes in this drawer, and random products don't just make it into this drawer, because everything in this drawer is something that is a favorite. It is not something that just gets the job done. It's a favorite because it's the best product for the job. Otherwise, it doesn't make it in the drawer. And where it goes, if I'm testing it out or not sure if it's good enough to be in the drawer, it's over here. And some of these products, I will take that back, like this MAC powder here. This MAC Mineralize Skinfinish is good enough to be in the drawer. It's just not a product that I use on a daily basis. I don't like to set all my foundations with this powder because it adds a little shimmer. And I find I like it when my skin looks dry and dull to put over some of my setting powders, or if a foundation just isn't that great. This gives it that little kick that it needs to look good and not look ashy. So that's why that's in there, just because I don't use it every day. But it could actually be in the middle drawer. And this is my favorite baking powder. I just don't bake with a luxury baking powder like this heavy of a baking powder on a daily basis. The only time I use this is when I'm going to be filming for YouTube or taking Instagram pictures. So it's my right-hand man, but it does not need to be in the main drawer. And this is my favorite burgundy blush by Milani, but this is not a daily color that I would wear on a daily basis. So even though I would like to reach for this every day, this is not a product that I can wear every day. And these are some samples that I got given over the holiday time from Sephora. I've been trying this Murad Salicylic Gel on my breakouts. And to tell you the truth, this product here, I haven't tried it. I don't even know what it's for. It's some kind of cream. And here's the Laneige, what do you call this? The Laneige sleeping mask that I got a sample of over the holidays from Sephora. And I will let you guys know what I think of this in a haul at How Was It, because I'm in the middle of the testing stages of this. And this is just another high-end concealer that I have pulled out to start reusing now that the skin around my eyes has improved so much and it's not so crepey. This may be a concealer I could use. I definitely spent enough money on it, so I would like to get my use out of it if I can. But that's why that's in this drawer. And this Milani highlighter here is one of my favorites, but it's not one that I wear daily. It is a favorite though, and it's my right hand highlighter, has been up until I decided that I'm not going to be able to open this, get into highlighters, and bought some of the newer ones that I have, like the Amrezy highlighter. This was my subtle highlighter, and I liked it because it's got the gold, it's got the copper, it's got the kind of, what do you call this, rosy tone. This in the middle, this one's copper and this is gold up here. I can't even think of the word for this right here, but you can mix them together or wear them individually. So I really like that. A lot of times I wear it when I'm doing videos. And I have the Morphe, what is this? Showmance bronzer. I don't think I'm going to be able to get this open single-handed, but that's okay. You'll see it in some other video. This bronzer I've only had for about a month. I'm really liking it. It's just not what I want to use for everyday bronzer. It's when I'm doing a certain type of look, but it's one that I really like a lot. And it is one of my favorites out of all my other bronzers. So that's why it's kind of a right-hand man. And this e.l.f. bronzer palette, I use this, and I know I'm not going to be able to open this because this one's tough. This one has a color in here that is the only powder color right now that I like to use to contour my nose. And this e.l.f. palette is the deep bronzer palette. So the thing I like about this one is it's not warm tone bronzers. There's some cool tones in there. So you can use it for contouring, where a lot of the other bronzers that I have are such a reddish shade that I wouldn't do that. And here's one of my MAC, what is this, Dip Down my Pro Longwear Fluid line, and I do like this liner. This used to be a Holy Grail liner. I do have a jar of it in black, but I haven't even taken it out of the box to use yet. But yeah, I love this brown liner, so sometimes I reach for that when I'm doing a daytime look. And I will give you guys an update about this Lash Princess. This is my second tube of this, so I do think I have an opinion formed of this, and I want to talk to you guys about it in an upcoming video. I know that you saw me haul this like a year ago, and I went on and on about it, but this is not the same tube. It is the second tube. So that is it for this drawer and what I do with it. Like I said, this is like my right-hand man, like secondary products that I might reach for if I get in a bind. And over here, this drawer here is all contact lenses, colored contact lenses from different brands. Some of these cases are empty. I think like a couple of these cases here are empty, but the rest of them are full with contact lenses from Desio and Pinky Paradise and some other brands. So like I said, I will get into color contact lens reviews coming up pretty soon. I just have to figure out how I want to format the videos and how I want to work that out. But this is where I keep these stored. And I do it this way because these cases are horrible. I feel like I'm watering plants with these, and thank God they're see-through, especially the Desio cases, because these contact lenses dry out so fast. Like I have to constantly add solution to them. Even though they're sitting in the drawer closed, they don't close all the way. So that's why I like having them in a drawer where I can get right to them and keep my eye on them. But I hope this was helpful to you. I'm going to switch back to the regular video now and chat with you about some of my setup.
So for some of my final thoughts, I have been contemplating taking on another one of those towers, but I don't know that I want 10 more drawers that I can put makeup in. I am a little overloaded with some of the palettes. I haven't even gotten all my hauls done for you guys from over the holidays, but I'm trying my hardest to keep everything in the 2 towers that I have. 20 makeup drawers in addition to my main makeup drawer that you saw me open up, the main drawer that I use my everyday daily makeup in. Being on a low buy right now, I'm a little nervous about taking on a whole nother tower. I know eventually I probably will have to. There's going to be some products I add to my collection. I just want everything really curated and kind of limited this year. So I don't know, maybe if I start getting PR or something, I will need somewhere to put some of that stuff. But as of now, those drawers are going to get a little bit fuller. And if you guys have been watching my videos over the past couple of years, you've known that I've done lots of hauls. Well, like I said, there's a couple more hauls that are still to go. So some of those drawers that are extremely full already, I still have more product to go. But this will be an ongoing thing that I continue to keep you guys updated with, the organization system. And like I said, I definitely will be doing probably next month, in the month of February, a declutter video, because I feel like I want some of that stuff used and out of here, because I know that everything that's in some of these drawers doesn't belong in my collection and probably isn't the best fit for me. So if you are not already subscribed to my channel, you're going to want to do that. And also I encourage you to hit the notification bell so YouTube notifies you every time I upload a new video. I'll see you guys soon.